Hello, citizens of Douglas County. I'm Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, the chairwoman of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners. And joining me today is Brenda Grissom, the founder of Gertrude's House. In this segment of Clearly, she's going to tell us all about why she established a support group for women who are going through breast cancer. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Did you know that 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer? It is the second most common form of cancer found in women, and it is the leading cause of death in women. But of course, men develop breast cancer as well. This journey today that I'll be meeting with Brenda Grissom on, it will highlight her 2-time survival experience with breast cancer and her 1-time experience with ovarian cancer. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Brenda Grissom here that I'm so delighted that she's here to join us today to speak about her journey on breast cancer and ovarian cancer. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you for being here today to spend some time with myself and also the citizens of Douglas County, particularly the women who struggle with a disease that is still a mystery today. In healthcare, there have been numerous ways that physicians and oncologists and microbiologists have tried to find ways to develop a cure for breast cancer, and yet there has not been a cure. Certainly you are a survivor, and I'm just delighted to have you here. Tell me about Gertrude's House and the mission behind the support group. If you could just tell me and the citizens of the county.
Okay. Gertrude's House, the mission is to be your battle buddy. We want to be there for you while you're going through, whether it be a man or a woman. And there are several areas that we support the survivor that's going through. So, you know, when you come to Gertrude's House, we have meetings every third Thursday, and we meet by Zoom now. And in all areas that we can help a survivor, that's what we do. You come and you're just newly diagnosed and you just don't know what to think, or you're really worried about it. If you want to lay on the floor and kick and scream, we're going to get down there and we're going to lay on the floor and kick and scream with you until we figure it out and make you feel more comfortable. And then we partner that person with somebody that's on the team that's gone through what they've gone through. So we really want to be your battle buddy.
Oh, absolutely. And as the founder of this support group, what does it mean to be just a sister away? What does that term mean?
Okay, to be just a sister away is whatever you need. Mm-hmm. Say, for instance, you're going through treatment and you've lost your job, because Georgia is a right-to-work state. So if you might lose your job because you got to go to treatment. So if that's the case and you need some groceries, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna say, go to the grocery store, I'll meet you there. Yes. And then we're gonna make sure that you have some groceries. I had one survivor that's taking care of her grandchildren, and we've supported her in several different ways. So that's what we do at Gertrude's House. We just wanna be your battle buddy.
All right, coming up, we will talk with you, Brenda, about your personal journey as being a 2-time breast cancer survivor and an ovarian cancer survivor. And stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Today is National Voter Registration Day. For National Voter Registration Day, we've kind of turned into National Voter Registration Week. So this week, today we're out here with our bus registering Douglas County voters to vote. We will be out Saturday for September Saturday. And I'm also for the week, Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 4:30, hosting deputy registrars training classes for the citizens of the county. They can come in and get trained to go out into the community and do their own voter registration drives.
Experienced severe outages during our early voting sites because of Hurricane Zeta's force winds. So therefore we devised a plan working with stakeholders. We were granted the mobile voting unit. The mobile voting unit that Douglas County currently has was purchased through grant funds to the department. We currently use this mobile voting unit for voter outreach activities, including the National Voter Registration Week, which we're performing now. We also use the mobile voting unit as a training mechanism for our poll working staff. All of this has been outlined in Georgia's election code.
To vote if you're 17 and a half and older, and you will be 18 by the election. Anyone that's a citizen of the U.S. and a citizen of Georgia and otherwise do not have their rights revoked through being a felon or non-citizen. You can register online. You can go to mvp.sos.ga.gov. You can log in on the right. Then you will go to Elections Division and it'll guide you through where you can register online, or you can come into our office and register here. And the voter registration deadline for this upcoming election is October the 11th. And we need to have it postmarked by midnight on the 11th. Early voting begins October the 17th. We'll have 7 locations that will be open. Here at the courthouse, on Hospital Drive, the old courthouse on Church Street, Lithia Springs Senior Center, Woody Fight Senior Center, Boundary Water Aquatic Center, Dog River Library, and Deer Lake Park Recreation Center. We're open from 8:30 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. We'll have 4 locations open on Saturday. That would be Deer Lake Park, Dog River, here at the courthouse, and Woody Fight. And this is from 9 to 5.
For poll workers, we're looking for individuals that have a passion to serve their community. To be a poll worker, you have to be at least 16 years of age, able to read and write the English language, and attend a poll worker training course that is supplied through the Voter Registration and Elections Office. We encourage any citizen that is interested in being a poll worker for Douglas County to visit Douglas County's Human Resources Department and look for the poll worker application. That is the first step to get your contact information to the department, for which one of our staff will contact you regarding any further details or actions about being a poll worker.
Douglas County wants to get all of our voters out to vote. So any opportunity we have to open up and have the voters come out to the public and get registered, we're here. So it's important to get everyone registered that has the right to vote.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
In this Douglas Daily, County Commissioners applaud an enhancement to the historic museum thanks to the Douglas County Travel and Tourism Board of Directors. Now, with just a swipe on the new kiosk located in front of the museum, county residents and tourists can learn all about various attractions and amenities in Douglas County.
This is a huge accomplishment for Douglas County. This is just the beginning of our greatness, so I really appreciate what this board has done. They have stepped up. I'm in the room with y'all. I just, the energy, the innovation, the excitement. I just can't believe what has happened about a year and a half or 2 years now, despite the pandemic.
It's going to be very good to the citizens of Douglas County because it doesn't cost you anything. But on top of that, those that are wanting to find out what goes on, what happens in Douglas County, They can come right to the kiosk, they can go right to the website, they can do all these things, and those dollars that are spent from a different bucket, and it's not the bucket what we're dealing with when we talk about a cost to Douglas Countyans.
This is a historic moment because times are changing, and we're going to be able to reach a lot more people by having this kiosk out front. And so we're so thankful to have it at the museum.
The museum and the kiosk are located on Veterans Memorial Highway in Douglasville. For more Douglas County news, be sure to follow us on Facebook and watch us on YouTube.
Welcome back, Brenda. You have been called a superwoman. That's huge, some big shoes to fill. How does that make you feel, and what does that mean to you?
Well, Madam Chair, I'm just humbled. I'm just humbled to be thought of in that manner. And that comes from my very, very dear friend, Jeannie. I asked her to write my bio, and she says that everything that she sees about me through this journey, that from the beginning I've been a superwoman. You know, I talk to people who are going through, I don't hide things. You know, sometimes people don't want to talk about their journey. And she says that no matter where I go, I'm talking to somebody about breast cancer, I'm asking, you know, people, do you know how to do your self-exams? Do you do self-exams? And she just started calling me a superwoman. So when she wrote my bio, she put that in there. And I said, no, we got to take that out. I said, that's a lot. She said, but that's what you mean to me. So I want to put that in there. So I'm very humbled that she even thinks of me in that way, to be a superwoman. I just do what I do, whatever it takes. You know, I'm just Brenda.
Absolutely.
I'm not a superwoman. I'm just Brenda.
Well, it's really a nice title to hold, and in my opinion, you are a superwoman. Let's talk about your journey with breast cancer twice, and then also ovarian cancer. And if you could just share things that are not confidential regarding your experience. And certainly me and you are very aware, my background is healthcare, HIPAA, so we don't want to have any HIPAA violations. But if you just talk about things that you experience, maybe mentally, physically, not physically, but mentally, in terms of your journey.
May I say first, Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I'm just grateful for you for doing this, bringing the citizens aware of breast cancer, you know, because it is a fight. It's a fight and it's a journey. So I appreciate you. You come out when we're doing walks, you're there. And I appreciate that. And anytime I say, you know, Madam Chair, we have a walk or we got a golf tournament, you say, okay, I'll be there. No hesitation at all. So it's important to me, breast cancer, but you've shown me that it's important to you. And I just want to say thank you for that. Okay? Now, my journey is only by the grace of God that I'm here. And it's only because of Him that I'm able to do what I do. I was diagnosed at 24 years old. I didn't know it was there. My boyfriend actually found it. And he rubbed up against my breast and said, what is this? And I was like, what is what? And so I felt it, and I went to Kaiser Permanente the next day, and they did a lumpectomy, which is where they cut right into they numb your breast, and they cut into there, and they take a sample out. And I remember clearly when they took that sample out, the doctor had said, we're going to send it over in a vial. And the nurse came back with this vial with some liquid in it. When he pulled the lump out, he said, we're going to send that fresh. So in my mind, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, uh-oh, so what is, you know, what, like that. But I just kept on moving. And I would say 3 to 5 days later, they called me back in and said that it was indeed breast cancer. So of course I broke down, I started crying, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm just 24 years old. But I asked my doctor, when am I gonna die? And he said, you're not gonna die. And at that point I said, okay, whatever it is, let's just do it. And I guess being 24, I was able to just jump right in and do that, because that's what I did. And my treatment was a mastectomy, and then chemotherapy after the mastectomy. And I'm not gonna say that chemotherapy is easy, because it's not. It's very difficult. I would get sick on the 3rd day, and I would be, you know, vomiting and just very, very sick the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th day. And then about then I started feeling better, but that was the routine. And I just went, I would go in, Madam Chair, come on, y'all, I need to get my medicine, let's go. And let me just go on down and do, continue my day or whatever I'm doing. But I got to the point where I was just in a fight. And I said, we're just gonna get it done. So that's what I did. And that went for 6 treatments. And then after that, 3 years later, I was home with my mom taking care of her because she had had an aneurysm. And prior to me going there, I had a mammogram. And the mammogram showed clear. Well, while I was home, I did the self-exam and I found a lump. So after I got back home, my husband picked me up from the airport, and where I'm going with this is you have to be your own advocate, Douglas County. You have to be your own advocate. When I came back home, I said, take me straight to Kaiser. I have a lump in my breast. So I went to Kaiser and I said, I need to see my doctor, Dr. Ramachandra. I have a lump in my breast. They told me Dr. Ram was in surgery. And, well, I called him Dr. Ram, okay? They told me that he was in surgery, he was the chief of surgery, and he was in surgery. And I said, well, I have a lump in my breast, and I need this lump out right now. And they said, well, no, you have to make an appointment. And I said, no, I need this lump out of my breast right now, today. I said, y'all go in there, surgery, talk to Dr. Ram, tell him I'm out here, I'm not leaving, I need this lump out my breast. And the doctor came back, and he said, come on, Dr. Ram told me to take the, Dr. Ramachandra, he called him, but I call him Dr. Ram. Come on in, Dr. Ramachandra told me to take the lump out. So come on in. So again, took the lump out in the office. Again, it was sent over fresh. And again, it came back, breast cancer. So you have to be your own advocate. You know your own body and say, look, this is what I want. So be your own advocate. So, okay, so that was my second time. Again, mastectomy, chemotherapy, and I just kept it moving. And I want you to also know that breast cancer is not a death sentence. That's why it's so important to know your body, know your breast, do your self-exams. It's just so important because early detection can help with your treatment plan. So that's what happened to me. And then I would say 10 years later, my OBGYN, he called me and said that he noticed that I had had a genetics test and that I had the BRCA gene, the BRCA1 gene, which is a breast cancer gene. And he recommended that I have my ovaries taken out. So I said, okay, let's do it. And let's do it quick before I change my mind. So he made the appointment for me and we went ahead and took my ovaries out. And he said the ovaries look fine. So I get home and then I get a call from him. Brenda, can you come in and see me? I said, And he said, come on in, I really need to talk to you. Yeah, I really need to talk to you. And I said, no, just tell me when I start chemo. And he said, come talk to me. I said, call me and tell me when do I start my chemo. So then, of course, he called his colleague, Dr. Baer, which is my oncologist at Kaiser Permanente. Dr. Baer called me and told me when to come in and start my chemotherapy. Yeah, so I started chemo for the ovarian cancer as well. And ovarian cancer, when you have the BRCA gene, you have a high risk of ovarian cancer and prostate cancer. So it's really important that you know that.
That's interesting, and I hope our citizens are listening, and that's something for all of us to consider. You know, this moment is truly divine. We both have on colors that represent Breast Cancer Month. Certainly in October, my plans, I will be rolling out a big conference for the citizens of Douglas County to participate in regarding breast cancer, and I will have a panel of physicians there. And you'll be there as one of the leading guests. You will really actually be the moderator. I've asked you to do so, and I'm so excited, and I will be there and host this well worthwhile program, so to allow the women of Douglas County, and not only the women, the men of Douglas County, to be made aware of what we need to do for breast cancer. I've had one more question for you. I'm so excited again that you're here with me. Now to your personal journey, you've talked about that. Where do you find support and who are your role models? Talk to me about your role models.
I find support in my friends, my family. My role models are my friends. Those are my role models.
Some of the women that are going through the experience of breast cancer that's associated with the Gertrude's House, can you talk about your networking opportunities and what do you all do together, or how do you lead that effort?
Okay, we've had 5 walks in Douglas County, and again, I am so thankful for you. You've been at every one of them, so I'm so grateful for that. And that's where we raise some of our money, and then we have an amazing group of men called the Ball Strikers, and they are the next level ball club. They put on a tournament every year for us, and that's another way that we raise money. So I'm grateful for them as well, because they don't have to do it, and they've chosen us every single year. So I'm grateful that they've done that. Yes.
Very, very, very good.
And then one other group, Miller Zell. Miller Zell has donated to Gertrude's House very much. So I'm grateful to Miller Zell. They help us too to be able to support the women and men of Douglas County. We've had one man that we've supported, so they've helped us a lot.
Well, is there anything else you want us to know about Gertrude's House and your presence here in Douglas County?
Well, Madam Chair, you've asked me before, how did I come up with that name? And I want to share that with the citizens of Douglas County. The way we came up with that name is, in my second bout with breast cancer, I was told that my ovaries had completely shut down and that I would never have children. And that doctor was the GYN doctor, the baby doctor, helps you have babies, whatever that doctor is. But anyway, he said to me, be grateful you're alive, you're never going to have children.
The obstetrician?
Yes.
Because the gynecologist is the other, so is the OB.
Okay, thank you. Well, he told me, be grateful you're alive, you're never going to have children. I said, I know a man that can do anything. And my God is going to provide. I'm going to have a baby. It's going to be a girl. And she is going to be named Rodella Gertrude. And I thought I had a bladder infection. And I took the medicine for the bladder infection, Dr. Baer, he prescribed me. I called Dr. Baer back. I said, I've been taking that medicine. I'm still going to the bathroom. I need some more of them drugs. That's exactly what I said. I need some more because I'm still going to the bathroom. He said, well, no, I want you to be seen. And I said, no, just go on and prescribe me. He said, Brenda, I'll call you back. He called me back about 10 minutes later. He said, you have an appointment in OBGYN on Friday, and this is the time you need to be there. So, yes, so I went to the doctor, and they told me they didn't have any appointments right then. And I was on the phone with my cousin crying and saying they think I have cancer again and da-da-da-da-da. And she said, come on, I'll do your ultrasound. So I laid on the thing where she turned the camera, the TV, where she thought I could not see it. She went down one side of my stomach, up the other side. And I sat straight up screaming, thank you, Jesus, that's a baby. And I'm sitting there going, that's a baby. And she said, yeah. And she told me the number of weeks I was, and I was sitting there going, what? She said, you're 4.5 months pregnant. I was 4.5 months pregnant, and I had no clue because I hadn't had a cycle since I was 27. So I'm telling you, it is not a death sentence, and you just have to have your faith and belief, because our time is not our time. Our time is God's time. He has us on a path, and we can, as long as we're on that path, nobody can take that away from you. So whenever it's your turn, it's your turn. So don't go thinking that it's a death sentence. Just do what you have to do, get your treatment, and keep it moving. Now, people do die from breast cancer, okay? I can't say that they don't, but what I can say, it doesn't have to be your death sentence, okay? So get your treatment, do your self-exams, and that miracle baby, her name is Rodella Gertrude. That's where the Gertrude came from. My grandmother's Rodella, my husband's grandmother, my late husband. His grandmother is the Gertrude part.
What an amazing testimony, touching testimony. Ultimately, in just a nutshell, that you are saying in so many words that God controls your destiny, not man.
That's right.
Thank you. So that's validated that physicians don't have the final word. They're practicing. Human beings don't have the final word on your destiny. God does. So thank you for bringing that forth. Well, at this time, anything else you want us to know?
October 8th is the golf tournament. So I would love to have you come and support us. And Madam Chairman, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And if you could provide that information for us to get in touch with you or the citizens, do you have a number for Gertrude's house or anything, an address or anything like that? Please provide it.
My number is 815-508-3494. And if you're a breast cancer survivor and you wake up in the middle of the night and you're afraid or you have a question, I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Call me on that number, I will answer, and we will work that out together. Again, if you want to kick and scream on the floor, I'm right there with you. And the members of Gertrude's House, we are a team, and we really do want to be your battle buddy. Don't be afraid. Call us and let us kick and scream with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Grissom. This certainly has been an honor and a pleasure to highlight the need for the awareness here in Douglas County about breast cancer for both women and men, and I appreciate you taking the time today to take my first segment out to 2 years or so, because the pandemic has just really moved my filming off the radar, because trying to focus on the safety of the citizens of Douglas County. But again, this is a perfect time. Next month is October. Yeah. We are ready to go, and we will make sure that we promote and get the message out to the citizens about the awareness. It's been a pleasure having you and learning more about your organization, Gertrude's House. Thank you again for joining us. And tell us how you can be reached once again, just once again.
Okay. My phone number is 815-508-3494, and the website is gertrudeshouse.com, and you can look on Facebook as well, and that is Gertrude's House.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Brenda Grissom. Again, I'm Dr. Ramona Jackson-Jones, Chairwoman of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners. Thank you for joining me for Clearly, where the information is provided essential for thinking clearly. Thank you.